Do you have children?
No.
Why?
I haven't met the right partner yet that I want to have kids
Oh,
with,
fair enough.
and I feel like I don't take that lightly. Who you have children with is the biggest decision you ever make in your life, and I just haven't had that. I haven't been ready myself. I haven't had a partner that's been ready neither.
Do you feel pressure? Like there's a time limit on you?
I mean, feel it, whether I feel it or not. I'm a woman, and there's a
Yeah.
time limit. Yes, yes and no, because I came to terms with that. I don't want children. Actually, I want a family. And if I don't meet my right partner that I feel like I can raise and have a family with in a healthy manner, then I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
That's fine. Of course, I would want it, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna force it. Somebody said to me the other time, the other day, like a friend of mine had a baby, and I was like, "Oh, congratulations, you're gonna be an amazing dad and stuff." And he's like, "Yeah, soon it should be your turn." And he's
Yeah,
talking
it's
about
what
how,
people say naturally,
yeah,
innit?
and then he was like, "Oh, like, but and don't be too picky." And I was like, "What do you mean don't be too picky? I'm not choosing like my favorite brand of crisps. I'm
Let
like,
me
what do you
ask
mean
you
not
a
to be? Of
question.
course, I'm
This
gonna
is
be
a question
picky.
I
Yeah.
have. Do you There's a lot I know a lot of great women
Yes.
who are single
Yes.
and who are in that position where their their morals and principles will not allow them to go out there and just be
Yes.
with anyone for the sake of
Yes.
having that the most gratifying experience of being a mother,
Yes.
which is obviously a huge deal, but they don't take it lightly. Um, However, my question is, and what I often wonder is, yeah, there's just actually so many of them,
Somebody what?
of women who are in your position, where it's like they just genuinely can't find
Yeah.
a suitable person
Yeah.
to go
Yeah.
that distance with, and
Yes.
they refuse. I don't know if I have. My question is like, yeah, have you? I know you've observed the same thing, of course. What do we do about that? That's my question.
What do we do about that? I
Yeah,
mean,
how? Because I'm
you
like,
tell me, please. Because hold on, let me just making sure I'm filming. You tell me because I really don't know what to do about it, and it's scary sometimes because I feel like I'm at the point right now where I'm like literally thinking I'm just gonna stay like this for like I can't. But then you always get to this point and then you meet somebody and then you're like, oh no, I can't. I mean,
and then
it's
something happens and it doesn't work out.
yes,
So then,
basically,
so
yeah.
then, because this is another conversation I'm having. You see, like the evolution. Are you ready for this conversation?
Huh?
You ready for this conversation?
I am ready, but one more thing I do want to say. I do also know that I I find it like really hard sometimes to like also like deal with my own insecurities. And it has nothing to
This
do
is
with
true,
me getting into a relationship, and I've never been jealous and watching a thing.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
it's not about cheating, nothing about this direction. But I have insecurities, and it's very hard to get with a man that makes you feel safe enough to let go. You know,
Be soft,
not soft, yeah, soft. I mean,
vulnerable,
I'm vulnerable. I'm generally
free, open.
I'm at the age where I can be soft, but as soon as I see you I'm soft by default, but as soon as I see you do something, I will cut you off right
Yeah,
there. I'm
yeah,
not gonna
yeah,
give you another chance. I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
gonna. If I see one thing that is a red flag for me, you'll never speak to me again. I don't really like, especially at the beginning. Like I don't even get. I used to get really far and overseeing. I think to really fall in love, you have to be delusional to a certain extent.
Yes, or not, or and
Yes.
it's not delusion. You're focusing on the most important thing that you have
Yes.
seen. There's a few things that I'm going to say this and then say what I was going to say because I think it connects. Is that when you get with somebody, there's no such thing as a person you're going to get with. That's going to be the complete in everything,
Sure.
right? It just doesn't make sense.
Yes.
Right? You are you're not buying a product, you're dealing with a human who's also on their journey as well. They don't exist for you.
100%.
In the same way, and I can only say this from being a father, it's like, oh shit, my parents don't exist for me. They're humans.
Yeah.
Just on their journey. They happen to have sex and have me.
Yes.
So in the same way, I'm not, honestly, only from being a parent, I'm like, oh wow, my dad is just a dude.
Yeah.
My mom is just a girl.
Yeah.
Like, she's just a chick. He's just a guy. Do you get it?
Yeah.
Do you get what makes sense? Because I put all of this pressure on him, like, why are you not freaking perfect? Why are you...
Why didn't you do this?
Yeah,
why didn't you love me like
hold
that?
on.
Why didn't you give me this?
Like, they're just dudes and chicks.
They had to pick up the tools themselves.
That's it.
Yeah.
And if we can... it's, for me... So it's not about not finding someone who doesn't give you a challenge. It's about finding someone who gives you the challenge that's worthwhile. Everyone is going to challenge you. But it's going into the challenge that's worthwhile for you.
Yes.
Like, this is the challenge that I want. I call them good problems.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? Like, my wife gives me good problems.
Yes.
Because every problem she brings to me is a problem that is inspiring me on the path that I've chosen outside of her. You get it?
I like that.
See, I am Mikel and I'm going here. On my way here, I've said, this woman, she now is in my life and she is bringing problems. Yeah? Right? This is everyone, just, she's going to bring a challenge.
Yeah.
The challenge she gives me doesn't deter me from what I'm doing. It inspires what I'm doing. Whereas another woman, for example, and I could choose another woman for another type of reason, and the problems they give me is just distracting me from what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's taking me actually away from what I'm actually trying to think. So it's about having the challenge that you know is good for you. But it's not about avoiding challenges, because I think that's where we get it wrong.
I think, like I said, like you just said, but to get to the point where you said the problem is good because she's supporting you in a way where it supports who you chose to be or the direction you're going, like your purpose. Because at some point you looked at this woman and you said her, because you saw the vision of this is the woman that's gonna help you or support you or kind of be with you on the way for you to fulfill your purpose and to go where you want to go. The thing is, when you're dating and when you're single and you're getting to know people, ideally I'm looking at, is that man a person like that as well?
Stop dating.
Or does well, I have to be fair.
Yeah, but I also think that culture is not
Stop
ours.
dating.
Yeah, stop dating.
So just marry and then get on with it from
well,
there.
kind of.
No,
listen.
How?
Listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying be ignorant. I'm saying stop dating.
Yeah.
It's this idea, like, I never dated.
Okay.
I never dated.
But what?
If I linked a girl, I was having sex with you. That's the only reason. But guess what? I didn't have sex with my wife until we was deeply in a committed relationship. Do you get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So what's the difference? The difference is dating is like auditioning.
Yes.
And in an audition, if you've ever gone for an audition for anything, you're acting. You're putting on a character that you believe that the person on the other side of you wants to see, so that you can get the role of whatever you are auditioning for. That's what dating is.
Yeah.
Don't do that, because you're only going to get as far as the acting job. But you'll be acting until you don't want to act anymore. The best way to meet...
And that happens to a lot of people. That's why they get divorced, or whether they break up when they stop acting. When the acting is done.
You're like, this role is finished.
But
so
how do you
how
automatically
do you get to know?
go at the beginning? It's just one thing. Okay, yeah.
Wait,
go
I
on.
want to close. How do you get to know people? Genuinely.
Friendship first.
You not just this fake friendship. You meet people on your path. Like Linda has created this. Yeah? This is an intention that's guided you to this conversation. See, if I met you on the street and I spoke to you because I liked you,
Yeah.
we could get to this, right? But this, if we could, let's say I met you and I asked you a number and I said, oh, let's link up for coffee, right? A date. You could bring me here.
Yes.
We could sit right here.
Yes.
But the intention of this moment would be completely different.
Yeah.
Therefore, what I'm giving to you, even the energy, we could be talking about, you could even bring out all of this stuff and show me it. But the intention, I'm like, yeah, but I know I took your number. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know I took your number.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna audition myself until I get to the crunch. Whereas this scenario, which is another scenario, same scenario, ended up here. But we've ended up here with a purpose. This starts and ends with the intention you've set. But what you are gonna leave here with, look, you now have my number. You now have a better connection with me. I now know you're from Germany. You grew up in Vienna. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know you're working on revising this game.
Yes.
You see, so this is on paper, or this is for all intents and purposes what a date should be. Meaning,
You shouldn't have an agenda of sexual intention.
The agenda should be your actual real life intention, because that's how you're going to get to know someone.
But some people, okay,
It's how you genuinely make connections. Because look what happens, right? Let's say I was single.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would genuinely have gotten, even though I'm not single, you still getting to know me.
Yes.
But let's say I was single, right? We have now made a genuine connection that's based on something. So now our connection has a start point and an end point that keeps you safe in getting to know me, because it's about this. The focus is here, because guess what? You might like the way I look, you might think I'm nice, but guess what? If I come into your life and ruin it, you're still going to be doing this, right?
Yeah.
If I don't come into your life, you're still going to be doing this.
Yeah.
So you want people to relate with you where? The thing that you're going to be doing, whether they are there or not. That is the best way to engage with people. Anyone who should be with you for long term is going to naturally come about whilst you're doing your long term business and intentions. That is how you're going to draw genuine people to you.
By just living in my purpose.
Exactly.
And then the rest will just, so you shouldn't go actively out to romantically connect. You should just live within your purpose, and then the people, romance. and then
And romance is nice drink. Romance is just pleasure. And pleasure is short-lived. Pleasure is the lowest level of the spirit.
So you should just basically focus on your purpose.
Because look, we're having a delightful conversation right now.
Yeah.
You see, we're having a delightful conversation. You're having a nice evening. We're going to say some stuff that's going to really impact. We're going to get content. This is productive. And you're getting to talk to a man.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
And if nothing else, you've made a friend.
Yes.
Who might invite you somewhere. Now watch this reference point. Because we connecting. I might do an event and say, yo, Linda, pull up at the event, man, bring your cards.
Yeah, sure.
You're more likely to meet, because of the work that I do, which is aligned with the work that you do, you're more likely to meet more people who are aligned with what you do, where I'm at.
On the basis of a purpose that's deeper than
follow the purpose.
Yeah.
But not, I'm going to the club to meet a man. He's inviting me to another club to meet some man.
I mean, that's done anyway.
I'm just giving you an example.
But you're absolutely right.
Going to a bar, going to cinema, anywhere, cinema. These fickle places that mean nothing. Linda, come to my event. Come sell your cards at my event. Come talk at my repatriation event about Bob in UK and Melanin Minds and your experiences back home. The percentage of you meeting more men that are in alignment with you and where you're going.
Yeah.
You don't have to convince, that are maybe doing the same other business or maybe have another complementary aspect. You might not meet your husband, but you might meet a business partner. You might be a colleague. That's my point.
Yeah.
And you see, but you see, if you go the dating route, You're meeting someone, you're kissing, you're fucking, and then you gotta get back to the whatever your intentions
Yeah.
again. Then you're doing your intentions. Now you go to date. You're meeting,
Yeah.
you're kissing.
Just stay on your
Just
purpose
ruining your
and
energy.
yeah.
Got all these people and energies all up in you, deterring you from your thing.
Mm.
And because every time you got to spend more money, you got to add more perfume. If this was a date, you wouldn't dress like that.
I would
Maybe you
actually.
would.
My friends always like judge me because they're like, "Oh, you going out? Why wear the heels? Where's the makeup? I'm just not like
But this
that.
is
I'm
cool. But
just
I'm saying
yeah,
generally, I
yeah.
don't know you.
If I
But
went on an
I'm saying
evening
generally,
date, I wouldn't. Yes,
someone
yes,
you wouldn't
yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
And again, I might lose my focus. I might be focusing on the wrong things, even if
Yeah.
it's a date, right?
Yeah.
If you came to my event, do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, no, I
So
absolutely agree
I
with you. You're
follow
right.
the
Yes.
intention. I don't, because I'm the same. The reason I didn't date girls is because my eyes are too big. I learned very quickly I can't trust these eyes.
Yeah.
They just like things. It's beautiful. You get what I'm saying? But that doesn't work. It doesn't work. So I have to follow my intention. And if I look up and see you, hi. Do you get what I'm saying?
So sorry, let's just one more
Yeah.
thing, yeah. So what's your idea of like, polygamy and monogamy? Because obviously
I don't believe in them.
in what?
None of them.
Because you were just talking about
I know
eyes
I
and,
was. And
and lots of people, lots
yeah.
of people that are Africanists, Pan-Africanists, and believe in polygamy and not that the humanist, but the black man or men in general are not monogamous. But what's your take on that?
Yeah, but again, do you know? Remember, I said earlier at the start of this conversation, I said our biggest problem in terms of our mental health is that we are defining ourselves through the for other people's language.
Yeah.
There is no such thing as monogamy in Africa. There's no such thing as polygamy.
Okay.
There's just marriage.
Okay.
You get it? It's just marriage.
Yes.
It's just family building.
Okay.
That's it.
But that does come with rules for men and women on how to act
It comes
within
with,
those relations.
It comes with systems and principles to engage in that. Just like business. Business comes with rules, right?
Yeah.
You've got to register with HMRC. You've got to do your taxes. It comes with rules.
Yeah.
But what your business is and how you treat your customers and who you employ and how you design the dynamics of the business, it's all up to you. Do you understand?
Also, basically, you're saying whether the men and women are just exclusively intimate with each other or not. That's just something between them two.
I'm saying,
And
does
then-
it work? Going back to what I was saying earlier, what's the purpose? Everyone's focused. The one thing, the annoying thing about this whole conversation around monogamy and polygamy is that everyone's just looking at it from a purely sexual point of view. And it's like, but we're all having sex anyway. So why are we even talking about sex? All of us are already having sex with different people, right?
Okay.
In your life, you've
Yeah.
had sex with more than one person.
Yeah.
Cool. So move that conversation out of the way. Let's talk about something else. Building a family and a community
Okay.
around that family that allows you to be the makers and owners of your reality. Yes, meaning you get to control your education, your entertainment, your movement, your economics, your food, your shelter, your clothing. Yes, your religion and spiritual practices.
Yeah.
That is the job of the family to control.
Yeah.
What setup is going to allow us to successfully and sustainably do that? That is the conversation we should be having. Not this gammy conversation. These are Latin or Greek words. They have nothing to do with us. What is going to allow us to build a family that allows us to be the makers and complete owners of our reality? That means food, clothing, shelter, spirituality, law, economics. You get what I'm saying? Education. what dynamic, what system is going to allow us to do that? It's got nothing to do
What
with
system is it in your eyes?
that something.
That's between you and your woman.
It is between everyone and their woman and their God and their people. It's because it's not just a man and a woman. Africa's famous quote is what? It takes a village, right? So 1 minute we say it takes a village, next minute it's like, don't come in my house. Yeah? So we're confused because we're too sexually obsessed to have real conversations.
Yeah.
Too sexually obsessed. We're looking at the wrong things when it comes to these dynamics. You've already been sleeping with loads of people. Yes? You've already men. I said in this conversation, it's like this idea of monogamy and polygamy. It's a false narrative. Both of them are nonsense. It's like political parties. They're both rubbish. It's like, what is the nature? What is the nature?
Yeah, it's like two political parties. They're both corrupt. They're both trash. But we're here arguing over stuff that's already been decided.
Because as African people, we don't split. We synthesize. It's only a Eurocentric mindset that likes to split and divide things and put one thing over here and separate them as if they're not a part of the same. We synthesize, meaning how do these two things relate? How do these two things relate? How can you get? How do you get? You can't get to having. You see, just language ruins everything. And so, if you really want to know what I believe, I don't believe in any of it. I want to set up a system that's got nothing to do with anything like that. Because my true intention is to be a maker and owner of my reality, and to have people within that reality where my dreams and their dreams are fulfilled interdependently, where we use our creative prowess to design reality in our favor no matter how it looks. Why are we arguing about a plant when if it's best to be this way because of it doesn't hit your head and it doesn't hit my head, but it's there and it gives us both oxygen, then put it that way. We're arguing over no, because my ancestors put the plants there and my ancestors put the plants there. No, but me and you are here right now. What's best for me and you in terms of where this plant, or more importantly, where this camera should be? No. Don't put your phone up, Mikel. It's my content. You know, this content will help you. And I know this content will help me. So put that one there for both of us. Put a mic and put this here. Now we got thing. That's called interdependence. You see?
Well, we want ownership. What's mine? What's yours?
No, because this
wrong.
allows me and you to work together.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? This allows me and you to work together. This also allows us to relate in a constructive and productive manner.
Yeah.
If you just message me like some people do, oh, I love what you do. Can we link up for tea? I'm like, no, fuck about
tea.
Yeah. I don't know. Just why am I linking you?
Yeah.
What's the purpose? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We overrate this sexual attraction. Like, really and truly, if you want to keep it 100, as a woman, any man will do.
Any what?
Any man will do.
Do what?
Any man will do. You can physiologically have sex with any man.
Oh, yeah.
And I can with women. So why are we talking about things that it doesn't even matter? Oh, I'm attracted. So what? Oh, you got a vibe. So what? Now what? Now what?
It's true.
Now what? So that's the point. I want to focus on solutions that answer the question that we had. There is an epidemic of highly skilled, professional, beautiful, principled black women who have no men in their life and are edging closer and closer to an age where they won't be able to have a child and they desire one. What are we going to do about that? I want to answer that question.
What are we going to do about that?
I can't answer that question, but we need to answer that question together. Do you
Lots
get
of
it?
people say,
Right?
yeah, lots of people say, and I heard men saying that
Mm-hmm.
more than anybody else. I'm not saying I'm agreeing with that.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that there's truth in it, but I'm
Mm.
not saying it's right or agreed or not. But he's basically saying that women, black women, are have like buying power now and making money, are very skilled, are intelligent, are educated, and are progressing, and getting themselves up on the ladder. And then obviously black men are not progressing like that, and that leaves them left behind. And the black women, they don't want to come down, whatever that means, anyways, to
Mm-hmm.
meet
They
them
shouldn't come
because,
down.
but and that's what
It's not about
and
that.
I heard that
Mm.
mostly men say that. I didn't hear
Yeah,
that much women say
that's
that.
very limp shit.
So,
To me,
but do you think?
it's
Do you agree with that?
well, I agree with the fact that men in Western society have been robbed of their spiritual game. Women have, I always say, your initiation process is internal. Yes, your spiritual development happens from an internal point of view. So it's your growth is going to happen intuitively. Men spiritually grow by being challenged by the outside world.
Okay.
That challenge and their pushback from it is what allows them to grow spiritually as the divine masculine. We've been robbed from that because we've been put into environments where we don't have men in our homes. Secondly, we've been put into environments where we have a welfare system that pays us to sit on our ass, right? And then this environment that tells us that that also demonizes us, doesn't allow us to benefit from the vital energy that we have. You see, we
In
don't,
what way?
meaning we don't as men, you're more likely to get hired in a professional environment than I am because you're less of a threat. You see, it's, you see, and because of the dynamics in school, you're also more likely to progress into higher education. Does that make sense? Because immediately our nature is demonized. A certain kind of black man is demonized. So we've been robbed in a certain aspect of our process for spiritual development. But that's not an excuse. It's a challenge. You see, it's a challenge that we need to. The only way we can meet our sisters where they're at is if we become makers and owners of our life, which goes back to what I'm saying. Meaning, we live in a world now where it's why I think it's more important. I don't know if this is controversial, but I think it's more important that women go out to work and men develop nation. Meaning, it's more important for a man to develop things like product and service that have more to do with building society that he has in his mind. I think the professional working environment suits more the woman because she's going to go into it's almost like, and again, I only use this word for reference. I don't believe in it. It's like polygamy, right? In a sense that you go into an institution and use your skills to amplify that institution. That's what polygamy is. It's just a business setup.
Okay.
That's what marriage in the motherland originally is. What we call business today, remember I told you earlier, everything was connected to a spiritual setup. Business in the motherland was family.
Yeah.
Your family would represent your business structure. You see, your wives, for example, would represent different aspects of your family business. Today, you have family and business separate. So this is why, notoriously, for example, CEOs sleep with their assistants, right? Because their assistants are who? Their second wives.
And you always have a work wife as well and a work husband. It's
Exactly.
not like it's
But
not. It's a known fact.
you're genuinely going into an environment.
Just quickly double check. Yeah. Yeah. Because, yeah.
You're going into an environment where you are using your skill and your prowess to build usually a man's company, his business, and in turn, he looks after you. You get you get a salary, you get a paycheck, you get what I'm saying? You get benefits.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
That is marriage.
And
That is what essentially, fundamentally, what marriage typically is. And I think
Yeah.
as men, it's very important that we don't spend a lot of time in those kind of setups. We have to build our own thing and collaborate B2B. Do you get what I'm saying? Business to business
Yeah.
with other men and other structures, because it's very important we have the weight of responsibility that keeps us in check and in discipline. Because if
Yeah.
we don't have that weight, then it's too easy for us to put our balls on the ground and act up and do as we please. And that's what the experience we have of men. You probably meet men with good money and good etc., but their morals and values are all over the place.
Yeah. I
Do you
mean,
get what I mean?
they're not mine. I'm not saying their my morals and values are bad. I'm just saying they're not my
They're
morals
not
and
aligned.
values.
That's my point.
Yes.
They're not
Yes.
aligned with
Yes.
yours. And
Yeah.
so we tend to lack in that space. That's from my observation. So yeah, I don't know if that answers your question, but
What was the question? I even forgot.
you asked me about monogamy and polygamy and my views
Okay.
on it,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I guess in summary, family is the business of life. So we should be less focused on how many women and how many men one is allowed to morally sleep with and get away with it, and we should be focused on what dynamics are actually going to improve our life.